Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and then every Monday we go live on Keto on the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon in that way. Every single time I feel like I have screens coming from all directions, you'll be alerted to it.
What is that supposed to mean?
I feel
Nothing
like,
has changed.
Did you not add more screens?
No. Well, there's a screen directly in front of the lens now.
Okay.
But that's been there for the last 3 weeks. It's just we've been traveling.
I guess.
And so you're used to not having multiple screens.
Well, hello. How are you? How is your week going? And how the heck is it Thursday? It feels like you give yourself one day off. You have a Monday off, and the whole week is like,
I know.
I have no idea what day it is. I wanted to wish somebody a happy Wednesday, and I did that this morning. And they were like, it's Thursday. I was like, it is Thursday. I was just checking to see if you knew.
We took 2 days off to go camping. It was interesting. We had a lot of fun. We took Tabitha.
I got sea lice though.
Yeah, Rachel got bit up by sea lice because we wanted to rent a canoe.
So if I'm scratching, I'm sorry.
And they would not let Tabitha in the canoe.
They wouldn't.
And our whole thing was we wanted to do stuff with Tabitha.
Yeah.
And so we ended up going to the beach. We found a dog-friendly beach. We have a video coming out on it probably next week or maybe even over the weekend. I just finished editing last Friday's video.
Accident.
It was a lot of fun, but it was interesting because Tabitha can't get in and out of the RV because she's never seen steps in 5 years.
It's so funny because she absolutely has everything it takes on the inside of her to climb up steps. But we live in Florida. We're in a ranch-style house. She's never asked to walk up steps. And so she just automatically assumed, no, I cannot do those things.
Yeah, so I had to keep lifting her in and out of the RV.
And me too.
Heather, thank you very much for the $4.99 super chats, and thank you everyone for all of the loves and prayers.
Oh, love you so much.
So if you're new to our channel, this is our Thursday night live stream.
Yeah.
And the way we work the live stream is it's kind of like ask us anything within reason.
Yes.
Okay, but any kind of keto questions, if you just want to kind of chat, we kind of let you guys direct where we're going to go. We try to get to as many of the comments as possible. If you have something that you really want us to notice, go ahead and use the super chat function down below. That's the little $sign that's inside of the chat window. Also, make sure you go hit the like button on this. It really does help build the channel. And if you really enjoy it, you can always hit that thanks button down below as well.
Chris is absolutely right. Sea lice is a skin irritation due to the trapping of small jellyfish larvae underneath bathing suits in the ocean. So that's the thing. Everything you cover up, that's what they get into.
That's right.
And by happy coincidence, that's exactly where you'd like to keep them out of.
I did
You'd like
not
them to
go
be
in the water.
Out of that. Yes, me and Tabitha were in the water. Yeah, and you sat on side and threw balls into the ocean for us to retrieve.
Let's jump into the chat. Before we even get into this, I want to remind everybody, so for our upper level channel members and our Patreon members, 5 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, which is
not in 5 days. It's actually tomorrow is Friday.
It is Saturday, June 4th.
And then the next day is Saturday.
So Saturday, June 4th, 5 p.m. Eastern time, we will be doing our monthly live stream with our Patreons and our upper level channel members, which are the $10 and higher channel members. And we also want to talk about some extra things we want to do with you guys. So if you can, we'd love you to join with us, and we'll just kind of answer questions. It's a little bit more of an intimate setting. Usually there's only about 20 or 30 people in there, so we're excited about that.
Hi, Denise. Hello, beautiful to you, young lady.
So Lady Rev said, I've also been rewatching the videos. I've been searching for the best way to drink keto chow in my coffee in the morning. How do you drink keto chow and coffee in the morning?
Well, this is how you drink it in the evening.
If you want to put it in the coffee, we generally add about a half a scoop to 40 ounces, which is basically a pot. I always tell people if you're looking to add it into the coffee, start off with 1 to 2 tablespoons of it and see how thick it is for you. Maybe you want to thin it out or make it a little bit thicker. As far as drinking it as a meal, if you're looking to really fill yourself up, you can always add a little bit of gelatin. That will thicken it up even more.
Ooh, Jen's got a great question.
Jen, thank you very much for the $4.99
so
super chats. Had been wondering, where does the 20 net carbs threshold come from? It seems like an arbitrary number. It sort of is.
Yeah.
Okay, so depending on
Hi, Sonia.
your body, for most people, and I almost don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Uh-oh. Brace yourself, Effie.
For many people, if you're just getting started on keto,
okay,
you can probably achieve ketosis if you can stay under 50 carbs.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Okay. 20 is pretty much a sure bet.
There we go.
And that's where it came from. Now, if you want to get into net carbs is a made-up thing. Okay? It was made up by the food industry, specifically Atkins, to sell products.
And it did wonders. What a great marketing scheme,
genius.
Right? I mean, it is genius.
Right? So it's an arbitrary number, but putting it at 20.
Oh, you have a fuzzball right there.
Oh, thank you for picking my nose on camera.
Sorry.
Everybody's enjoying that.
It is like a fuzzy. It's like were you smelling a stuffed animal before we got here?
So anyway.
Okay.
It is an arbitrary number, but 20 is a good number that will pretty much guarantee you ketosis. For some people, they have to go lower.
Right.
But for most people, 20 is a really good number. The problem is the higher you go, the harder it is to get into ketosis. And so when I say 50, it's possible, but again, that would be like 50 total carbs, not net carbs.
Yeah.
And also it depends on how bad is your metabolic syndrome or diabetes. So the more medical issues you have, the lower you should go. So that's where the 20 kind of came from. It's just a good guarantee. When I first got started, I kind of followed the 20 net carb, but no more than 40 total carb, even from the beginning.
But there weren't that many products out there.
Oh, the total carbs for me were based on like things like using almond flour and
allulose wasn't a thing back then.
There wasn't even allulose when I got started.
It was literally like a very quick, do you see how long this math equation is like?
Right.
I mean, it's like 2 trains leave a station going at the same speed. And I mean, it's so different now than it was. It was total carbs. And really back then, we were trying to figure out what was the net carbs in broccoli.
Yeah.
What was the net carbs in asparagus?
Right.
I have like an entire Excel spreadsheet of vegetables because that's what we were counting.
Right.
Now there's all kinds of stuff.
And here's the thing. This isn't a word, but I'm going to say it anyway.
You're going to make it up?
The wholer the food, the less you have to worry about your carbs.
Yeah.
So if you stay completely away from any type of highly processed food or wrapper, if you stay away from grains, because there's literally nothing good for you from grains.
Yeah.
There is no real health benefit to eating grains, regardless of what they want you to believe. Any of the possible effects, positive effects you can get from grains, you can get from eating meat and fibrous vegetables like asparagus and broccoli and things like that, and even a little bit of fruit. So there's nothing good with grains other than the negative anti-nutrients that they're going to bring. Legumes and starches, again, can bring you a bunch of anti-nutrients and way too many carbs. But if you are just sticking to meat, including things like liver and things like that may have some carbs, like for example, scallops have a lot of carbs.
Scallops didn't get me to 300 pounds.
If you're eating lots of fibrous vegetables, you don't have to worry about
broccoli
those carbs.
Did not get me in trouble.
Right.
It was not the broccoli.
Those are not the carbs
that
you need to worry about. You need to, and if you're eating that kind of stuff, that's where you can get away with 30, 40, 50 total carbs. If you're only counting those carbs. But the second you start with packaged foods or anything else, like that could bring in extra carbohydrates, that's where you really got to start winding down those numbers. We've been on this a long time.
I saw Bird Loves Paint was saying that, like, to get her husband started, just start with 50 total carbs. Like, it's a small step. Honestly, the smallest step is don't eat any more sugar. No more sugar.
Right.
Then start with, like, don't eat any more bread.
I
Don't
have
eat
two
more
philosophies for getting started on keto.
Yeah.
There is the rip the Band-Aid off.
Right.
And from day one, go all in. No grains, no sugar, no pasta, no starchy vegetables. Eat as much meat as you want. Maybe a little bit of veggies if you want veggies. That's the one. And then immediately on day one, go through your cabinet and throw out anything inflammatory, including all of the inflammatory oils, Hellmann's mayonnaise, canola oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, anything that's made with it. That's the rip the Band-Aid off. The way most people are going to get started is start slow. So yeah, start off at 50 carbs or 40 carbs or 30 carbs. Just eliminate sugar and grains and then start weeding your way down.
Hey, Lisa.
It just depends on which way you want to do and which way you can financially do it. But I will tell you, once you get into keto, the number one thing to get rid of before anything, before you use pasture-raised eggs, before you use better quality meats, before you start trying to buy better bacon that maybe doesn't have sugar in it, get rid of all of the seed oils. Those seed oils will cause more problems than even eating sugar.
We noticed that when we would have like seed oils, especially like chicken, we had to stop getting Winn-Dixie chicken wings because they were frying in inflammatory oil. And we were buying, you know, the wings just as a every now and then on busy days. But we had such joint pain and we just were so inflamed after it. We just had to say, you know what? This doesn't feel good and we don't want to eat it anymore. But when you're just getting started and you're feeling like kind of like, ugh, as you're moving from one fuel source to the other, when you have inflammatory seed oils on top of what you're trying to transition out of, it kind of makes you wonder, like, what is making me feel yucky right now?
Right.
You don't know, because both of those things are making you yucky.
Yeah. Anthony, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Said Joe, stupid question.
No stupid question.
Does adding ice affect keto chow with egg white protein and hemp hearts? I'm at 85 grams of protein shake and I'm hungry in 2 hours. No, I add ice to keto chow all the time. The only thing that I would say is, you know, you might want to let it sit for like a half hour. If you're trying to drink it right away, that's where I would do it. I would make it with butter and then add ice. And adding the ice would just kind of cool it down, but you can get that little bit of a vitamin taste. It doesn't bother me, but it does bother some people. I think Miriam is kind of like, hey, I don't like the taste of keto chow right away.
Right.
But you're adding egg white protein and hemp hearts. I'm at 85 grams of protein per shake. That is a lot of protein. You might make sure you're adding a little bit of fat.
Yeah.
The fat will help you as well. Remember, protein fills you up in the moment. Fat gets you to the next meal. That's why you have to find the right balance. Denise said, I know it's BBBE, but can you add any cheese at all? I'm making 4 eggs with 2 ounces of cream cheese with cinnamon and erythritol, whipping it up and cooking it like a pancake. Okay, if you want to do BBB&E, pretty much everything you've got there other than the eggs is off limits. Yeah. No cream cheese, no cinnamon, no erythritol. Understand the whole idea of BBBE, the reason that Dr. Berry came up with it, the reason we decided to work with him on it back last September was it is a highly restrictive eating regimen for short term.
Yeah.
It is taking carnivore to the next level. Okay, that's basically what it is. It is an elimination diet. Why is he eliminating cheese? For a few reasons. For some people, it can be inflammatory. So we're trying to check that box off the list. Also, cheese is a binge food. It is very easy to binge it. I can speak from experience.
I don't know that
it is very easy to overdo it. Oh, absolutely. Same thing with erythritol. One of the reasons we are strong proponents of, if you're going to do net carbs and take off erythritol, still have a total carb cap, because you can easily overdo it. We actually tried it in the vlog this past weekend when we were camping, but that Duncan Hines mug cake or cookie that we got in the keto crate.
Oh my.
Don't give them, don't tell them away. but it was like
I can't not make a face.
37 total carbs.
I'm telling you, it wouldn't have even filled up to here.
And 28 grams of it was erythritol.
I'd be embarrassed if I gave somebody this much, like a coffee mug this big.
It was about the size of Chips Ahoy when you were done.
With this much coffee in it. I mean, that's pitiful.
Okay, can we go back to this?
Yes.
Okay, so all of those things are off limits on BBBE if you really want to do it right. The closer you can stick to only eating beef, butter, bacon, and egg, the better your results are going to be. The more you're going to get in touch with your satiety, the more you're going to figure out what exactly is going on with your body. And then what you do is you slowly add in. And the way you add in is you continue with beef, butter, bacon, egg. You eat one of those things, then you go back to beef, butter, bacon, and egg for a couple of days, see how your body reacts. Stop looking up there because it shows up here and then we're in trouble.
I can't help it.
I know.
I see Anthony says it's roughly 54 grams of fat. I use butter and it sits overnight in the fridge. Then I add ice. Don't add ice to it. Add ice to it and blend it at work. It usually doubles it, but to me, it's crazy that it doesn't fill me.
Okay. Denise said another question. How long did you notice a difference on BB? About a week.
Yes.
About a week is when we started really getting in touch with our satiety and like really getting in touch with our eating stuff. As far as how we felt, I would say probably about a week to 2 weeks is where I started feeling like, oh, wow, like there's some change going on. And I think it was the same for Rachel.
Yeah.
And again, we weren't getting on the scale, so we have no idea.
I would say like by day 12, I was like, gosh, I feel really good. I was eating all of the time, so I was happy and humming with that.
Right.
But I could feel movement going on in my clothes, especially around my midsection. So is it challenging to do? Yes, it is. Is it worth doing? Heck yes, it is. Heck yes. Especially if you would like to have some really good results.
Okay,
I highly recommend it.
Van's got a question that says, anyone successful in increasing tolerance for dairy through keto carnivore diet? So Dr. Cyrus, and I did notice he said, I watched that video. It was great. I wish he had a specific protocol. He does have a video about you can work on it. Most people can. Anyway, there are a small population that does have some allergic reactions, especially to casein. The best way to do it is to start off with things like yogurt and cheese. Small amounts, and you just do a little bit at a time. Just do a little bit. You don't want to jump into and eat 10 ounces of cheese a day. But you want to start off with cultured type dairy products. So things like cheese, things like yogurt where it has bacteria in it, because that was good for you, and then stick with that for a while and see how you do. And again, just a little bit at a time. And again, remember, we'll just get this out there right now. We are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. This is all based on our own personal research and experiments we've done on ourselves.
I can't even tan right. I put a hat on while we were in
well, I can affect the color to make it look a little bit.
But I'm just saying, look at that.
Your hair isn't brown. Your hair is...
But I'm just saying, like, my whole face didn't get any sunburn, and it looks like my bottom half, like, did get lots of sun.
I'm now unplugging our entire studio when we're done with each one. We're used to let things run, but I'm trying to lower my electric bill, and I put one of those plug things that put on here, and I figured out that this studio burns 600 watts an hour when it's running. That is a lot of electricity.
Day.
So yeah, and we were leaving it on.
I saw somebody was asking.
Stop looking up there.
I saw if somebody was asking, what did you eat? Did you only eat keto chow while you're doing dental stuff? No.
Keto chow and eggs.
We have eaten a lot of eggs. We've made pudding. We've eaten a lot of yogurt.
Which is keto chow and eggs, and then yogurt.
Well, yogurt and stuff. So there is soft stuff that you can still eat.
I know that you can blend up your meat. I'm just not into that.
No, thank you.
Jen said, I mixed up raspberry cheesecake keto chow with cream cheese for my Friday night tradition of having ice cream during Friday night feast. That was awesome.
I love it.
Okay. Brenda said, I bought enzymes. I tried adding gelatin. I've tried adding everything. I can eat some hard cheeses, but not heavy whipping cream or yogurt. Yeah, because you might be lacking the enzyme to break down lactose. Another place to start is with like some lactose-free stuff. Hoping the troll doesn't show up tonight. Yeah, we had a troll the other day.
Did we?
Okay. Van said, I can't do sour cream, cheese, milk, or yogurt.
You know what I'm thankful for? I can do beef. No matter what, beef has never failed me. There's always something to eat in the beef department for me. I'm thankful for that.
Chris said, Ruth says, hi to Rachel.
Hi, Ruth.
Brandon's here, said Ohio is represented
Hi,
tonight.
child.
Is Radical Geek on too? I haven't seen Betraya yet. Oh, we are so far behind.
We're very far behind.
Yeah. Bird Loves Paint said, I told my husband, who is really struggling to get started, to try to start at 50 carbs and just try to stay there. That's why I said don't go up there.
Yeah.
That's why I don't read them twice.
Yeah, you're going to do it anyway.
I see that. Jennifer said, Keto Chow, you control your fat too, which is not normal for shakes. I love Keto Chow ice cream and or shakes on the go.
We love them because it's flexible and because Joe and I can have a very different shake.
Yeah, Bird Loves Paint said, really? Scallops has a lot of carbs.
It does. It's crazy. Look it up. It's amazing. But I still enjoy them. Mm-hmm. And again, it wasn't scallops that I had a hard time with.
Right.
It was.
Here's the thing.
There's a lot of other things.
My personal opinion, when it comes to eating any kind of whole food, meat or seafood, the carbs don't matter. Because you're going to get more benefits out of eating liver, scallops, eggs, and technically there's carbs in all meat, technically. You're going to get, that's going to open up a can of worms. You're going to get more benefits from eating that stuff.
Put a lid on that
any detriment from the carbs. So if you want to eat liver, if you love liver and can eat a pound a day,
ooh, you can have mine.
Eat a pound a day.
Eat my pound, too. Serena!
Nancy's here, said, I did some change-ups the last 2 days, changed from tracking net carbs to full carbs. Also, just today started MCT oil. My scale finally moved for the first time since mid-March.
Again, this is a very unpopular opinion, which is the total carb protocol, right? Like, it's not popular, but I'm telling you, it works. It just works.
Joanna said, I've heard that shrimp can make you bloat. Is that true? I've never heard that before. She said, I've been known to lose control with shrimp. If you're going to eat shrimp, make sure you're not getting it from the Orient. Don't get anything from like China, Japan, any of that stuff. Honestly, you should not be eating any fish that comes from there. Okay, because they have really bad farming practices and most of it is farmed. Really, when it comes to seafood, you should really be trying to stick to wild caught with very few exceptions. There are a few exceptions, but like you don't want to eat, if it says Atlantic salmon, you shouldn't eat it. That is pretty much all farm raised and they feed them antibiotics and it actually takes for farm raised fish.
I like those red shrimp.
Well, those are wild caught, the Argentinian shrimp.
Heath and Shelly got us on them. I'm never going back.
But if you buy like farm raised salmon, it actually takes more fresh fish that they pull out of the waters to feed them than you're actually getting out of it. It's like 5 to 1 pounds.
Oh,
it's like really, you should
pitiful.
not eat fresh farm raised. You can eat farm raised shrimp so long as it's from the United States because there's not really a big change in it. But it could be if you're eating a lot of shrimp that's coming from, China and Japan and that kind of stuff, that could be the problem. Denise said, sorry, TMI, fiber equals poop and lots of it, meat equals less output. That is not fiber. Eating too much fiber can actually block you up even more.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. You can absolutely overdo fiber.
Michelle got her fresh fish off the boat. You don't get any fresher than that.
If you are having problems, if you're on carnivore and having problems going to the restroom, which technically constipation is once a week or less, then increase fat, increase salt. Those are the two things that will most likely help you get going.
Get the flow. Cute top, thank you. It's actually a dress. I'm telling you what, I got all this cruise wear, and we are still going to be wearing it. No matter, I'm wearing it somewhere.
I got rid of all the bad stuff in the cabinets and bad box foods last month, and my body feels the bestest.
That's awesome, Carrie.
Shauna said, I made my own wings in the air fryer yesterday or day before. They were so good. Hungry Heath, pork and poultry.
I love it.
Chris said, stupid question. Is it morally wrong to give me a warning? I'm actually speeding.
If I actually am speeding, probably. But I appreciate it.
It doesn't say if. I'm not, my glasses work now. It says it.
I don't think that I've ever gotten a warning. It's usually like you get a ticket.
You got one warning.
One warning, but I was on my way to traffic court. That wasn't a
He's
good
got
warning.
another one. Stupid question. Isn't it about time y'all audited my tax return?
Ooh, my gracious. I hope you don't get audited.
Nicole said, my mom was telling me about how severe her arthritis pain has been, and I recommended her to remove all seed oils ASAP.
It really helped us, and Joe has been battling with arthritis for decades at this point. Lynette's here. Hi, Lynette. How are you feeling?
Melinda said, I'm confused about which olive oil to buy. I need the cheapest, purest, lightest olive oil to use when I cannot use butter.
I like that, Kirkland.
So what are you doing with it? Well, there's a lot of different types. So I'm only going to ever recommend extra virgin or extra virgin olive oil, but what are you doing with it? Remember one thing about olive oil, it has a very low smoke point. It's not really great for cooking. It's better for like seasoning your food, salads, things like that. But if you're trying to like do a lot of cooking, olive oil usually isn't the best option.
What do you recommend?
If you're looking for keto chow, I've not found an olive oil that I like in keto chow, so maybe somebody else could chime in on that. Joanna said, I always have my keto chow the next day. It thickens up and I add more water, filling the whole cup. Very satisfying.
Nice.
I think keto chow is always best 2 days later. That's my personal opinion. Nancy said, my parrot will only eat a certain brand of chicken, and since I share my meals, I'm struggling to find chicken.
Well, Grayson, isn't it so weird watching your parrot eat chicken? Like, it is so weird, but that is like one of Grayson's favorite things.
Chris said, Rachel owes Joe a new keyboard. That was real close to coming out of his nose.
Yeah. We're classy. We're classy like
Robin
that.
said, I took myself on a date tonight to Texas Day, Brazil, and Tampa.
Nice.
They had more variety of meats than when I've gone on to the one in Sunrise. Both are excellent restaurants.
We're going to have to try the one in Tampa, Robin. Because we've been to the Sunrise one many times, but Tampa, we've never eaten at the one in Tampa. There's a new place, a new Brazilian steakhouse that's like family owned, not part of a chain, that's in the Lighthouse Point area that our friends recommended that I'm looking forward to going to.
Chris said, I have a lot of confidence in the Costco Kirkland brand fruit oils like olive and avocado, and would not be surprised if Walmart Great Value brand is legitimate too. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I like all of their oils. I mean, let's face it. I mean, pretty much everything in Costco and, BJ's and Sam's, it's all just rebranded. Heck, she used to work in Aldi's. Everything in Aldi is rebranded.
It's all rebranded. Yeah.
Right?
It's like their chicken is Tyson, for instance.
Everything is rebranded.
Yeah.
Michelle said, I gained weight after BBBE because I went back to heavy whipping cream, cheese, and sweet flavors.
It really, really makes a huge difference. It's amazing.
Janice said, how often do you eat your homemade Greek yogurt? At least every other day.
I think there's some cooking right now.
There is some because we have a couple of recipes we're going to be making with it. At least every other day. We probably make 1 to 2 batches a week. It just depends. Everything for us, you'll notice it on vlogs, we kind of get into a spot where we eat the same thing a lot. Then we move away from that and we don't eat it for weeks or months. And then we come back to it. Like, we'll go through a spot where we're eating chicken wings 2 or 3 days a week. Then we won't touch it. And then we're eating steak every day. I mean, right now, it's kind of like up in the air because of our teeth. It's whatever is going on. But we've been doing a lot of yogurt, whereas before that, we probably hadn't had yogurt in 2 months.
I saw Sarah was asking any suggestions on a dessert stuffler recipe using keto chow.
I've been working on one yesterday and today.
Yes.
I'm almost there.
Almost there.
It's just trying to get the exact time right and also the batter right. I'm trying to make the batter a little bit more portable, so I'm kind of going back to old recipes that I used to make waffles with keto chow. It works pretty well if you use the basic keto chow chaffle recipe, but it's not super spreadable, or it's not super pourable, which makes it a little bit harder to get the right amount in there.
Right.
So that's why I'm working on one. It's like
Matreya's here. Hi, Matreya.
Jess Renee said, I can't do heavy whipping cream anymore, and cream cheese also causes tummy aches. Sonia said cheese is Chosen Foods avocado oil. I'm pretty confident it's legit. That's usually what we buy.
Yeah.
Honestly, we buy whatever's on sale so long as it's in one of the better stores. We usually will go to like Sprouts or something like that.
But I also like Costco because you can get a value on it. Even their like the Chosen mayonnaise is good. Is it Costco we get that at, or was that Sam's Club that we got it on sale most recently?
Costco. This
DS
is
Meyer Sales.
DS Meyer Sales, I guess. I'm doing 2 keto chows a day, trying to get my ice cream to work. So far, 0 for 2. Ugh, I love ice cream. How are you trying to make it? Are you trying to make it in a creamy, or are you trying to make it in an ice cream maker? If you're trying to make it in an ice cream maker, then just make a regular keto chow. Now, some people are going to disagree with me. I found if you're using a regular ice cream maker, or if you're making it in a Vitamix, you need to use at least 3 to 4 ounces of heavy whipping cream. It doesn't work well with butter. You can do it with butter, but it's really tricky. And any less fat, it's got too much water in it, and it kind of gets really icy. Also, for the most part, you can't make the keto chow ice cream ahead of time and then put it in the freezer and then come back and have a nice smooth ice cream. You can a little bit with the creamy. Also, try adding Terra gum to it.
Somebody's asking, what is the difference between Carnivore and BBBE?
BBB is a stricter version of Carnivore. So Carnivore is anything that is from an animal. Most people, well, I shouldn't say this. You will see a lot of people say heavy whipping cream, butter, cheese is not carnivore. That's nonsense. It's from an animal. It's carnivore. So depending on how strict you want to get into carnivore, there are really strict carnivores. The only seasoning they will use is salt. No pepper, no garlic, nothing like that. So true carnivore is just meat and meat-based products. So cream, all of that stuff, yogurt, that's all fine on carnivore. BBBE is even stricter in that you are limited to only beef, butter, bacon, and eggs.
Ruminant animals. Butter, bacon, and eggs.
Right. And so Dr. Berry explained the ruminant animals is the best type of animal product you can eat. It's better than pork. It's better than chicken. Chicken's not fatty enough, even when you eat the dark meat in the skin. But also when it comes to chicken, you can overeat it, especially if you get into things like chicken wings. He was trying to put things on there that
you don't binge.
He said as far as bacon, really pork itself isn't the greatest thing in the world for you, but how do you not do bacon on carnivore or keto?
Come on now.
And then eggs is just the perfect food. It's perfect 1-to-1. It's got every vitamin and nutrient you need in it. You can sustain yourself off of just eating egg. Think about it, an egg brings life. And then butter is a super healthy saturated fat. Robin said, so to start BBB, how much a day? As much as you want, as many times a day as you want, so long as for each meal you are eating until you are comfortably satiated.
Like you can still do work the rest of the day. It's not like you got to take your pants off and lay down.
So it's going to equate to 2 to 3 meals a day. If you are really following that, as much as you want, as many times a day as you want, so long as each meal is until you are full, you're not going to be able to eat more than 2 to 3 meals. Ask her.
I tried.
She was like, challenge accepted. I'm going to eat 10 times a day. You can see she can out-eat me. She can out-eat pretty much anybody you know. I've watched her eat a 40-ounce prime rib. But you just can't. If you're only eating beef, butter, bacon, and egg until you are comfortably full, you are not going to be able to eat more than 2 to 3 meals a day. Not now. If you're going to pick throughout the day, that's a different story.
No grazing.
And you're going to end up with issues. You're going to probably gain weight because you're constantly releasing insulin.
We don't graze. We eat grazers.
That's right.
That's the difference.
Yeah. So if you want to take it up a notch, again, this is rip the Band-Aid off or gradual. I'm never going to recommend anybody go rip the Band-Aid off. But if you want to take it up to the next level, eat within a 6-hour eating window on beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's where you're really going to have amazing results. But listen, beef, butter, bacon, egg is super restrictive.
I was going to say.
Start off with 2 to 3 meals a day. As much as you want, and then if you want to take it up to the next level, like the next month, then go to 6 hour eating
Sometimes
window.
I think we just need to pick what we're gonna do and stick to it. I see sometimes people are like, I am gonna go keto, but when I don't stick to it, then I'm gonna go more restrictive, and then when I don't stick to that, I'm gonna go harder on myself. You're not going to like your life, right? I would say go back to what you want to try. And if keto is where you started, that's a great place, and just stick to it.
Okay, DS Meyer Sales says heavy whipping cream only has like 0.46 carbs, very few carbs, but it adds up. And the problem, and this is why I have a mug that we have on our website that says all heavy whipping cream has carbs. Because if you get into the forums and the Facebook groups, you will see a lot of people who think that heavy whipping cream is 0 carbs because that's what the label says. The problem with heavy whipping cream is it is very easy to overdo. And again, we are speaking from experience.
Yeah.
We are the people that would make recipes using a half a cup going, it's 0 carbs.
Right.
Because that's what the label says.
If you can stick to the serving size
and one
that's
a day,
it, and walk away from it, then you'll be fine. But like you would see us in old, videos making coffee, and I had the heavy whipping cream, and it was like, making my keto coffee.
Right.
And it was like, a fourth of a cup of heavy whipping cream.
I mean, you will see people.
It was delicious.
Especially early, 3, 4, 5 years ago when making keto coffee.
Yeah, Sean is right. You also have a shirt that says.
And that's right.
All heavy whipping cream has
And
carbs.
their coffee would be like 2 to 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream and some MCT oil and some butter. And before you knew it, you were drinking a 500 or 600 calorie coffee, which was all fat. Like there wasn't even any protein in it. It was just all fat.
It was just coffee,
and
beans,
then people
and water,
wondering,
and fat.
why am I struggling? So that's the problem with heavy whipping cream. Yes, it's 0.46 carbs, and if you're doing 1 or 2 tablespoons a day, great, you're having a carb a day.
I've just never seen 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in my life.
If you use heavy whipping cream and make a keto chow.
I've never even just used one of those little containers when there was half and half.
No.
Have you ever only used one? In a Rachel-sized cup of coffee. I mean, it wouldn't have even lightened it up.
No.
Right?
No. But what I'm saying is if you use it if you're using heavy whipping cream for your keto chow, you could, if you're using 4 ounces of that, you're adding like 3.5 carbs to and if you're drinking 2 or 3 a day. That was my initial problem with keto chow. If you go back and watch our video 3 years ago, the biggest problem that we had with keto chow was avocado oil was too expensive, and heavy whipping cream added way too many carbs. And at the time, the literature kind of insinuated that you drank it for 3 meals a day. It didn't insinuate you would do 1 meal a day. When Chris came to us 4 months later and said, I figured out you can use butter, I'm like, well, that changes everything.
That changes everything.
Butter is cheap and butter is very low in carbs. So, Monster said scallops have carbs because they don't go through rigor mortis like animals do.
That's interesting.
So all the bits of glycogen stay in their little bodies. Rigor mortis required glycogen.
How fascinating.
Karen said, on our trip vacation, hubby was doing his burgers without buns. The apple fritter for breakfast didn't do good though.
That's okay, because I see in that statement 2 opportunities, and 50% of that statement, he did something amazing, and he did it on vacation. On vacation, people get into trouble, and it looks like on vacation, your husband actually did even better. Mm-hmm. That is awesome.
Serena said, I would never, ever count carbs in eggs and meat. Nope, you don't need to.
Hey, beautiful Serena.
Dr. Barry says the same thing. Count all carbs except for those.
We're saving up all of our total carbs so that Joe can have all of the liver. Mine and his. More liver.
J-Dog said, I love the t-shirt I saw the other day.
I pooped today.
I saw one of those shirts,
it's
and
like
Rachel
adulting.
would not let me buy that shirt. I wanted to buy that shirt.
Well, and I feel like we were in the Levi's store Was that what it was?
Yes, I sent a picture of it. No, it was what's that fancy brand that we used to buy at the thrift store all the time?
Lucky's?
Lucky Jeans. We were in Lucky. We were walking through the mall.
He was
and Rachel's
allowed
like, look in Lucky
to
Jeans.
send a picture to Chris.
And I sent a picture to Chris. I'm like, Rachel won't let me to buy this. And he was like, that's offensive.
Yeah, because Chris has got good sense.
He said he did say it was funny. Michelle said the Big C came home with several low-carb cruisers.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
that's
so
no
sorry.
fun, man.
Really hoping everybody gets through it.
That stinks.
Sandra said, beef fails me in a restaurant, though. I can eat it fine at home. I'm thinking it's whatever they cook it with that bothers me. Ate a Texas de Brazil was not good. What do they cook their meat in? Well, their meat is rotisserie, but some of them, like I know the spicy one has gluten in it. So some of their meat, the best thing to do is ask them. Miriam said, I'd love to hang out some more, but Ruth and I are going rollerblading.
Have fun.
That is awesome.
That's super
Michelle
fun.
said, yes, seed oils really inflame me, have autoimmune arthritis.
Yeah, I mean, you notice it. And that is the wonderful thing. I know, again, we always get back to, because we sound like we're just, I don't know, like Debbie Downers, because we're saying like you want to eliminate stuff. But once you eliminate stuff and you live on it we felt so good on beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's why when we were like having the road back, we were testing things one ingredient at a time. I mean, we looked nuts. But once you feel so good, you don't want to feel icky anymore, right? Like I have no tolerance for having a yucky, crappy day because of the way my joints feel or because of bloating. I just enjoy feeling good now. And if that means that I don't have as much variety of food as everybody else, I'm okay with that because am I having a different experience than other people? Yes, their plate may look different than my plate. My plate may look like it's less fun and exciting because we keep it pretty simple. But you know what? I have a much different experience than other people do too, right? I feel good most of the time.
Well, here's one. Van said, have you ever met someone who is so resistant to try keto carnivore but has tried everything else and failed to lose weight? Why? Yes, on a regular, it's one of the reasons we started our channel. People would come to us and be like, how did you lose all this weight? You know, we both lost all our weight by the time we started our channel. And we would
explain it.
And then they would go, that's not going to work.
And so it was, it's not, like rejection is not fun. And that's what we would meet over and over again. That it would be, there were some people that we would talk to, they'd be like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. But there were others that, boy, we've always worked multiple jobs and you're really tired and your free time is really a precious thing. And then we would spend an hour talking to somebody just for them to say, yeah, that's not for me. So it became a lot easier to say, hey, we're going to put this up on YouTube. You could watch it day or night, anytime, have this conversation, rewatch it, see if it's something for you. And if they were like, no way, this is not for me, we didn't have to face the rejection. It was a lot easier to put it up there and point people to it.
And this will sound bad. We have friends now who come to us and be like, I really, really need your help. I need you to help me get this weight off. Okay, go watch this video.
Come back and ask me any questions.
I'm not, and this is gonna sound mean, I'm not willing to help you personally if you can't give me some initiative and go watch my getting started video.
Yeah.
I mean, that may sound mean, but people do get that way. Like, absolutely not, I'm not doing that. And I love it when people come and say, well, that's not healthy. But is being 100 pounds overweight healthy? Like, how's your health going right now?
Well, sometimes it's even the people who knew you at your biggest. So they knew that like getting up and down was a super chore for me. Like I had no stamina. I was sick all the time. My skin color was terrible. My hair was falling out. And then, we're still, I'm going into my 5th year on this, and it's like, okay, we've maintained success, so like, come on back, like let's give it a try. Wouldn't it be worth even a try?
It's like when people look at me and they go like, I see what you're eating. That's not healthy. Where were you when I was eating
Oreos. No one was saying
You didn't say a word when Rachel and I would go the day after Halloween and buy 50 packages of Oreos because they were 50%. You didn't say a word then. But now, because I'm buying 5 packages of bacon, you're going to tell me that I'm not eating healthy? Jen said, I added lemon habanero element to my chicken salad. It was excellent. Just canned chicken, mayo, and element. We have to try that.
It adds like flavor. We were amazed at what it did to our eggs. I mean, it changes the consistency a little bit. I feel like the texture is more like, I don't know, like the inside of a sous vide egg, but it was very tasty.
Serena said, I just bought local beef tongue and heart. It was $4.99 a pound. Love heart, but I've never had tongue. Looking for cheaper alternatives. So beef tongue, put it in an Instapot and just cook it up like for a good hour.
Yeah.
And you want it, or do a low and slow in a crock pot, and it makes really, really, really good shredded beef.
Yeah.
Dawn Does Keto said, just got home from a short keto seminar at a local place called Paniquito. It is a keto bistro grocery.
How neat.
That is awesome.
Oh, Jackie sees your shirt. Thank you, Jackie. We also have it in a vlog coming out. Thank you so much.
I'm going to thank Jackie for this because, see, I've tried to buy shirts like this on Amazon.
He can wear it
and
if someone else gets it.
You cannot wear that shirt.
Yes, Jackie got this.
Jackie got me this shirt.
Then he's allowed to wear it.
I'm allowed to wear it.
Every butt loves a rub. That just tickled him to no end.
Julie said, I add grass-fed beef gelatin in my keto chow for extra protein. Yeah. Serena said, I think people get carnivore and BBBE intertwined.
I think so too.
Yeah. We're into ones that you read already. Yeah. Bird Loves Paint said, I highly recommend Wild Alaska Company for salmon and a mix of other fish. Frozen, shipped direct from Alaska. Small company, prices comparable to the store, but quality and fresh. Yeah. Just always look for, like, you always want to look for wild caught, especially when it comes to salmon. You're looking for a really nice fatty fish with really good omega-3, sockeye is the best thing you're going to be able to find.
I love that stuff too.
And it's got that super red color.
When it's date night, he's like, hey baby.
Maitreya said, I made a cheesecake stuffed protein waffle, but it wasn't keto chow. Yeah, your recipe is very, very similar to mine except for I use keto chow, but I've also done it with like Quest protein and stuff like that. I was watching that before we got on. Nancy said, I eat like that all the time, Joe. It's impossible to buy most groceries for one, so I always have leftovers for 3 to 4 days.
And then you're just done.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. I mean, sometimes it's like, gosh, I made a big batch of it, but either share it with a neighbor. No one's going to be upset when you bring over like brisket or meatloaf or something like that, right? I mean, they're like, thank you, I don't have to cook dinner tonight. Or you have plenty of meal prep.
Today, Faith said, tonight I used the brine thing for steaks. Let my steak sit in the fridge with salt for 18 hours. Ooh. Turned out a lot less tough. Cooked medium rare. Started BBBE yesterday for the month of June. Let it go even longer. If you want it even tender, let it go for like 24 to 48 hours.
It sounds crazy, but it really does.
I'm still going to do that thing where you take out, I've got to be willing to sacrifice a $90
This scares
roast.
Me though.
But you take a roast and you can take some tallow, infuse it with some herbs. Or you could do this with butter too, but that'd be a waste of a lot of butter. You're gonna take some tallow, you're gonna melt it. Then you're gonna take a rib roast. Or you can even take like a strip roast. You're gonna get it nice and cold, and you're gonna dip it in that butter. And then just keep dipping it until you get a thick layer of
tallow?
Or butter.
Okay.
Tallow or butter. Until you get a layer like that all the way around it. Stick it in your refrigerator for 90 days.
Oh my gracious!
And when you pull that thing out, you will be able to cut that thing with a spoon.
I feel like it'd be scary.
No, I really want to try it. I really want to try it.
Oh, Nancy says her neighbors are goats and cows, so probably they wouldn't want you to meal prep for them. Especially if you're serving them goats and cows, right?
Crispy wants to know, how is Charity? Haven't seen her usual mealtime appearances lately. Oh.
She's doing just fine.
Charity's just super simple. She doesn't even know where she is.
She's always right there. She's like, and her little resting mean face. She looks like she's just as ticked as can be, but she's happy as a clam, purring. Look at her.
Bird Loves Paint said, please tell me about the mayonnaise you like. I just brought some Primal Kitchen mayo, but have not opened it yet, so money. We make our own. When we do not make our own, the only two that I've ever found that I like are Chosen Foods and Primal Kitchen. Chosen Foods is available at a lot of Costco's, and so that's kind of our go-to because it's
convenient,
cheaper than Primal Kitchen. Primal Kitchen goes on sale at Publix once in a while for like buy one get one free.
Sometimes they have interesting flavors.
And they have a good Chipotle mayo one that I like.
That Chipotle one is good.
With the Chosen Foods, I like it now. We didn't used to like it. If you go find an old video, we didn't like it because they used to add sugar to it. And it was too much like Miracle Whip, which Rachel did not like.
I do not like Miracle Whip. Who's team mayonnaise and who's team Miracle Whip? My mom is like Miracle Whip all the way. She loved Miracle Whip growing up, but I was just mayonnaise.
Serena said, I'm trying to stay pretty strict carnivore, but after surgery, I want a keto lemon bar. Any recommendations?
Doesn't Keto Chow have a lemon bar?
Use Keto Chow lemon meringue and mix it with some yogurt and stick it in the freezer.
Yeah, that'll do.
Let's see. Blue Dove said, yes, Joe, please. I need a whip it up in Vitamix and pour into a dash multi-mini Keto Chow waffle chocolate.
Nice.
Rebecca said, I lost taste and smell due to you know what. Any suggestions on how to salt a taste when you can't taste? Here's what we did when we had COVID and couldn't taste. I sent this to Christy Davis because Christy Davis put a post up today.
Yeah.
This is Sofa King. Keto Village. She's forever Sofa King Keto to me.
Right.
She put a thing of like, is it bad that I don't want to eat my Keto Chow because I can't taste it? And I'm like, here's what we did. Everything that we hated the taste of, that's what we ate.
I did eat liver that week.
You ate liver, grape. You were drinking grape Zip Fizz.
I was drinking grape.
We couldn't taste it. So it's like, oh, I don't like that. Let me eat it. At least I get the nutrition, but I don't have to taste the nastiness.
Yeah. Doing the chore of the cat box, the litter box was delightful.
So
look on the bright side.
If you are dealing with that, and I don't know what strain is going around or any of that stuff right now, but if you are dealing with that, get your electrolytes in. I will tell you this, that was the thing that got us through it, and every person we have ever known in our own personal life who got that, we gave them some of our own personal stash of electrolytes, and it kept them out of the hospital. Again, we are not doctors, but I know that
it made a huge difference.
The sodium was huge for them.
Yeah.
And if you're drinking a lot of water and taking in sodium, you're not going to overdo it because the worst that's going to happen is your body's going to make you get rid of it through your poop.
Vicky is my scenario. My mom was Miracle Whip, and I've always been mayo. Me and you, Vicky.
Let's see. Trying to jump down. People talking to each other.
I love that.
Diana said, instead of saying carnivore, I just say that I can eat meat based on my way of eating. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. Yeah, you think keto is a buzzword and say the word, hey, I'm keto to people? Say carnivore. That really gets some people going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gracious.
Maitreya said, you know that might be great. Pina colada pound cake stuffed waffle with a custard filling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. That sounds delicious.
That's a lot. You're just going to...
Nah. Joe just gets up from the table, wanders off, and begins making it.
Shauna said, I'm still not buying another appliance. No more appliances. No new appliances. LOL.
There you go. Dawn says, I can eat my hubby under the table. High five, Dawn. For the ladies who can eat. I'm all about it.
Diana said, I am meat-based, but I gotta have my Keto Chow. Chris said, oh man, I've been craving wings for the last few days. I slacked a bit with brisket today. It's funny, I wanted wings the other day when we were camping, and then I'm like, oh, there's no wing place around here.
No. So we got what Rachel wanted, which was hot dogs.
We had a lot of hot dogs.
I was just in a hot dog mood, and Publix was having like a really good buy one get one on a super clean hot dog. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, it was really good. Oh, it was Supernatural.
Yeah. They were expensive, though. The only reason I bought them is they were buy one
get one.
Scott said, getting ready for vacation, long day of travel. When you travel fly, do you fast, or how do you usually handle that? Okay, how do we handle it?
We've done it both ways.
We do it every different way. It depends on what time we're flying.
On flying days, we will fast the flying day. It just makes things easier.
Yeah, it really depends. Like, when we went to Utah, we had access to the Delta Sky Club. So we ate, like, hard-boiled eggs and stuff.
Go, Chris.
But then we Usually we'll do that and then maybe eat a dinner whenever we get where we're going. We usually only do 1 or 2 meals. You'll see in the vlog that's coming out tomorrow, we went to the water park last week and they didn't have any breakfast that we were willing to pay for because it was like $13 for 2 eggs. We're like, no.
Yeah.
So we did the entire water park on our vacation day, fasted, and we were fine.
It was fine.
So it really kind of depends. I know Chris and Miriam, whenever they travel for like conferences, they fast and eat when they get there, which is a lot of what we usually do because we like to do early in the morning. So it just depends on what time our flights leave.
Sometimes I'm ready to eat at 6 in the morning and sometimes I'm not.
Michelle said, yes, I started grazing after BBB. Back on the no snacking wagon now.
It makes a huge difference. And that is, my mom, I'm so proud of her. Like, oh, I was going to ask you, are you guys participating in our challenge this month? Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my, what is your Oh my June challenge? I have been super successful these past 2 days just putting on my socks and sneakers first thing. Let me show you how many, oh my goodness, my thing will work. Look at that. I have walked 9.5 miles today.
That's amazing.
Only because I put my socks and sneakers on and I might as well walk. So it's like I've gotten in so many more steps and I'm so proud of my mom. What's really stopped her grazing for this challenge, and she did it like the week before to get herself ready for it. She only will eat if she's sitting down.
Wow.
She's like, I am not going to eat. For 45 years, she has been grazing in her kitchen area close to the sink, and that's where her like standing position is. Give me a holler if you've also done that. I used to do that definitely a lot, especially when the kids were little. If I stood up in the kitchen to eat it, it was like it didn't even happen. And my mom is like, I've always wanted to break that bad habit, but for 45 years it just felt very natural to be standing up to eat. And so she's like, she cleared off a really nice table, put a little pretty on the table so it was like more appetizing to go to it. And she has been sitting down to eat. And guess what? She's eating 2 to 3 meals a day and that's it. Because she's sitting down. She has to sit down as soon as she catches herself like, oh, wait, nope, I gotta go sit down.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Sabrina said, I was throwing out heavy whipping cream, so I quit buying it all together. I did buy one last week to make whipped cream for fresh strawberries as a treat.
That's nice.
Deborah wants to know, is an egg blended in coffee really good? I haven't tried it yet, but I need a replacement for heavy whipping cream. Okay, so the first place I'm going to tell you to try a replacement for heavy whipping cream is butter.
Yeah.
So remember, butter is simply heavy whipping cream that's been churned and has more of the protein taken out of it. So it's going to end up giving you a very similar flavor and creaminess. You just need to use some type of a blender or frother to mix it in. Otherwise, you have a pool of oil on the top.
And that's not appetizing.
Because remember, oil and water don't mix.
Right.
So when you do it with a blender, you don't get that for some reason. An egg is really good, and I know it sounds weird, but here, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Throw out the cup of coffee.
If you're doing it at home, which I assume if you're adding egg to your coffee, you're doing it at home.
They frown on it.
You're throwing out a 50-cent cup of coffee and a 50-cent egg?
They probably frown on it at Dunkin' Donuts.
Probably.
Hey, here's an egg. Can you go blow this up?
So if you're buying the really good eggs, the $6 a dozen eggs, the most you're throwing out is $1. Who hasn't wasted $1 somewhere in their life?
I've never wasted $1. Right? What are you talking about? What are you saying? Are you saying that I have bought nonsense things to dress up with and wasted money?
Jackie said 8 days till we head to Fort Lauderdale, 9 till we are on the cruise. Think I'm going to break BBBE and 45 days of a stuffed truffle. Can't wait vacation, then back on BBBE.
How nice.
Jackie, are you coming in the day before your cruise?
Yeah.
Let us know. 8 days. Oh, I think I will be going to Kentucky.
You're going to Kentucky.
I don't know. So, hey, send us an email anyway.
Yeah.
Send us an email. Because we're in the Fort Lauderdale
That's
area.
A quart-sized mug. Yes. Probably. Most likely.
Yeah, my name said coconut oil and pina colada is the best in my opinion. We've never done it with that, but we did it with the orange.
Yeah, I've had orange cream with coconut oil in it. It's delicious. But now's the time. Pina colada, coconut oil. Now's the time. Like during the summer months. Boy howdy. I actually had I got a message today what is your electrolyte concoction, because I had a frosty Redmond today. When it is hot, South Florida hot, when we get summer, I am all about a bunch of ice, water, and Redmond in the Vitamix. It gives you the most snow-like ice. If you blend it up, just give yourself some patience to blend up the ice and make a Snoopy snow cone machine out of the Redmond. Tastes really, really good.
Linda said almond milk doesn't have the creaminess I need for coffee, so I do that and add a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree. Almond milk, not good for coffee.
But
my personal opinion.
But at least if you know you're pairing the two,
Yep.
then you can keep the heavy whipping cream to
Serena
one.
said, I bought the Dr. Berry recommended canned cod liver.
Ooh!
Pray for me.
I'm praying for you, because that, oof.
Joanna said, I found the longer I ate keto, the more food changed, and I gave up a lot of the snacky foods like mug cakes and fat bombs. Us too.
Same here. We used to not be able to get through a day without a mug cake or a fat bomb.
Michelle said, I like egg yolk in my coffee too, but only if I can blend it with my little milk frother. It leaves some whites behind and it grosses me out.
Yeah, make sure you blend it up really,
You gotta
really good.
blend it up.
Benefit of an egg and coffee, you're not using heavy whipping cream and you're getting some extra protein in.
You're getting protein. It's super creamy. You're getting a lot of vitamins and
It's
nutrients.
very frothy.
It's really, really good. Chris says, so far as we can tell, it seems the correlation so far as people that got sick on the cruise appears to be related to people who went to shows.
No.
I didn't go to any shows on the cruise.
Dang it. And see, oh my goodness. We would have had it too, because I totally would have gone to all the shows. I love me some Broadway type shows. And I think they were having Grease. How am I not going to go watch Grease? There's just no way.
Okay, Chris has got a good question. Dr. Berry says, I should do BBBE for 90 days due to hyperinsulinemia. Why is it so difficult to get started? You're not ready?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's a really simple answer. Sometimes, and I can tell you, we've been there. Sometimes you just need to hit that all-time low, and you may not have hit it yet. I can tell you this. I would not have done BBB&E if we wouldn't have said it on video we were going to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
We had to have accountability.
This channel, it keeps us accountable.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my eating lifestyle. We have never had a non-keto day, eating a bunch of non-keto foods. But some of it is you guys keep us accountable.
I know for a fact I'm going to put my shoes and socks on and get my steps in this month, because I said I was going to do it to you guys. And if I say I'm going to do it, I need to honor my word. So sometimes it's finding the right accountability. Sometimes it's another person in your life too.
Michelle said, Joe and Rachel, yes, so smart. Now I just send people to your channel because I get tired of spending hours and hours talking to people. Then they just find another excuse to not start keto.
And don't take it to heart. What I have to, because we kind of look a little bit like we get ticked off by it or something. I don't get ticked off by it. I'm thankful for the opportunity. There's a couple of friends that I have that it's a twice a year conversation. Mm-hmm. It's like, what are your tips? And I'm like, same as they were 6 months ago when we talked about this. And I'm fine to just continue to have that conversation. We're planting the seed. That's what I believe. I believe that no matter what, it's not wasted effort, because at some point it will be a blessing in their life. If nothing else, if they just say, you know what, I can't go as crazy as Joe and Rachel, but I'm going to just start off with just whole foods. My gracious, that would be a great first start. And if that is just the seed, or somebody else later on in their life gets to water that seed, I'm okay with that. We're planting the seed, and we're just going to be hopeful.
Lynn said, I went to a warehouse today and walked all around looking for kitchen countertops, and I didn't look for a place to sit down.
That is awesome. That is really
Anthony
good.
had the mango chili element in chicken salad tonight. It's excellent, but not as a drink.
Yeah, that is good. Well, it's good to know at least there's something you could do with it, because I thought, is this a double dog dare flavor? Is this just for parties? Right?
Monica said, you two are so down to earth and seem to have it all together.
Far from it.
I was wondering if you've ever fell off the keto wagon during your journey. Hope I'm not upsetting you. Thank you for all you do.
You're never upsetting.
You're not upsetting. we have never gone off of keto. Now, have there been days where we ate a lot of extra food?
Yeah.
Yes, but neither of us has ever had a day where we sat down and ate non-keto friendly foods. It's not a lie. Why?
And it's not because we're awesome. It's because we are the worst carb addicts.
Yeah.
We are the worst.
We actually have a video that we've been talking about making about this topic. So I don't want to get too much into it, but my personal belief is you should never have a non-keto day. You should never, even your birthday and your anniversary, okay? You shouldn't not be keto. Like Nurse Cindy said this when she went on the cruise, right? She said, go on the cruise, go on vacation, eat as much keto-friendly food as you want, but stay away from the desserts. They were. If you look at pictures from the cruise,
Heath and Shelley
they were putting stacks, Heath and Shelley, stacks of pizza crust, going and getting the pizza and just scraping all the topping off. Now, was there probably a little bit of sugar in that tomato sauce? Yes, but do you understand? Like, they weren't eating the bread. That's the part of the pizza that's really bad. So maybe you had a couple of extra grams of sugar in the sauce. That's fine. I'm fine with doing that, but I don't believe that you should ever have a, hey, it's my birthday, I'm gonna go eat a piece of chocolate cake. There's enough keto-friendly options out there, but why did we never, ever have a cheat day off of keto-friendly foods? Because I don't trust myself.
We can't risk it.
I know myself, and I'm a carb addict, and even before I understood that I was a carb addict, I knew that bread is my downfall. I was the person that would go to Outback Steakhouse, literally walk in and eat 3 loaves of that bread before my steak came, and then we would make sure that we had some on the table to take home. We would go to Cracker Barrel and tell them ahead of time, I want an extra order of biscuits to bring home. Like, I was a bread fanatic. And I knew that if I ever allowed myself to have a piece of bread, I would not stop eating it. It took me 2 years to allow myself to have communion because I was afraid that communion would actually send me down that rabbit hole of eating bread.
We were that afraid.
Future Breeze, thank you very much for the $9.99 super chat. Say, today would have been my late husband's 62nd birthday. Big depression day. I fell off the wagon with taco salad bowl and taquitos. Tomorrow I will be starting again. But a taco salad bowl and taquitos, like, I'm going to say, like, you may have fallen off the wagon, but I think that's pretty good.
I don't want you to be hard on yourself.
that, hey, I slipped up. I mean, sometimes we're going to slip up. We didn't slip up just because I didn't want to let myself, but I would slip up with overeating the amount of food that I would eat.
This is a tough time for my family as well, Future Breeze. June 1st is my dad's birthday, who passed away, and today would have been my parents' 54th wedding anniversary. So I know that, like, these are particularly hard days, and there is no expiration date on guilt. I mean, not guilt, on grief. And yesterday, me and my mom just held each other. Mm-hmm. That's what we did yesterday when we got home from camping, and that is okay. And I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm really thankful that you're here and that you're sharing your day with us. And I just pray that you had a laugh tonight, and that you know that you're loved and you're precious. And I'm excited for your future. So please do not be hard on my friend Future Breeze, because I love you.
And one thing I do want to say is you're doing it right too. And you said, you know what, tomorrow I'm right back on the wagon. That's the way you do it. We don't have a slip up day and then go and fast or something like that, because that lends to more problems later on.
Yeah.
Faith said, can you do the butter mayo with just a hand mixture? That's all I currently have. Yes. You know, you can you can actually do it with a whisk. I've done it with a whisk. It's going to take a little bit of time. You may get a sore arm, but you can do it with a hand mixer. You can do it with a whisk. You can do it with one of those, the plunger whisks. We've done it with that. So
Chris says, I'm an eat the hubby under the table gal too. Go girls. We eat, okay?
Bird Loves Pain said, yeah, all my vegan friends scratch their heads, but I do not have to shoot insulin. So winning. Yeah. They agree it works for me, but still can't believe me.
There's some friends in our life, because they've known my mom for so long, and they know, like, how scary it was with her type 2 diabetes for 2 decades. And even they have had a lot of grace for our family through this, because they're like, they see my mom well, and that makes a huge difference.
Okay, we are going to get off. I'm looking to see if there's any other questions. Serena said, I'm very passionate about this way of life, but I had a nurse bite my head off about steak for a cardiac patient. I just backed off. I'm not here to fight, just educate.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do.
That is because at the very least, I feel like when we have an interaction and we are able to walk away from it and say, you know what, I still maintained a good attitude. I'm not going to fight somebody over this. They're more likely, I think, to come back to the table at a later date when they realize that you're a calm and graceful person.
Yeah. Chris said, for me, it's 1 is too many, 10 is not enough.
Yeah.
I simply can't do non-keto food and be off the rails. I'm bad enough with low carb.
If you are looking for the most imperfect people, you found them.
Yep.
They're right here. We are the worst of carb addicts. So no matter what low you've gone to or where you've been, you're in the right place, and we love you.
And here's the thing. It's like, I know that we've been doing this long enough that if I had a cupcake or a piece of bread, I would be right back into fat adaptation within a couple of hours, because it's been, our body is so efficient at using fat for fuel, but I don't trust myself to not continue. I'm like Chris, like probably the one food, if there was one thing that I would say, hey, I would love to have that, it would be like a slice of Costco pizza. But here's the thing.
That's what you'd want.
I liked Costco pizza. I like pizza. I'm from New York. I loved New York style pizza. Costco was just that nice thick bread, and again, I loved bread.
Oh, Lord.
But I could never limit myself pre-keto to one slice of that. Have you ever seen a slice of a Costco pizza? We would eat a pie each. There is no way, if I went and sat down, I'm going to want to eat half of it. I'm just know me.
I have seen, and we'll be back with Atomic Habits next Wednesday night.
Yes.
And one of the things that I've truly learned from that book is our brains enjoy the planning more than the actual doing. So let's plan differently. Let's have our excitement and our enthusiasm and our plans. Like, September is coming, and that's when my birthday is. And I am starting to plan right now, not what I'm going to eat on my birthday. What am I going to do on my birthday?
Right.
What excursion are we going to go on? What fun thing? What activity? I would rather put my energy into planning for that and, get excited, right? And sky's the limit. We could do something super, super fun instead of putting all of my energy in planning a meal.
Right. Okay, we're going to get off. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, don't forget, Saturday, for all of our upper level channel members and all levels of Patreon, we will be doing our monthly live stream at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then we'll be back with Keto on the Couch on Monday. We have a vlog coming out tomorrow. Not quite sure what time. Rachel's got a couple of coaching calls, and we like to premiere our vlogs. And we will check in with everybody on Saturday, and then again Monday.
We love you guys.
Bye.